Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh book from Valiant publishing. And quite surprising thing is that this is Airframe album number 1, which is dedicated to Henkel 219 Uhu. And some of you might be confused because how come that we have the first book while recently we reviewed some of the latest titles and it was definitely bigger number than 1. But jokes aside, this is actually a second edition of the first book because this original publishing came out several years ago, and obviously we've seen new kits introduced, we've seen also various new information appearing on the modeling hobby books, so that's why it is interesting to see all the fresh information gathered in one updated version of this book, and that's why I decided to take a closer look at this fresh release. As you can see, it is written by Richard Franks, and the overall structure should be typical, but we have increased page count. It should be, well, publisher promises that it will be 144, but obviously we'll check it together with you. And now we are going to open it and check what is actually printed here. So I'm going to open it here. Maybe I'll close the lenses a bit so that it won't be that bright, because you can see that it's white color, so you won't be blinded. And first of all, I suggest we zoom in a bit, because here we have sections, and as you can see there are 4 sections. So first one is dedicated to technical description of the Rio aircraft. Next we continue with evolution, where we will see prototype, production, and also possible future variants. And of course, third chapter is dedicated to camouflage and markings, and fourth one is dedicated to building this aircraft in whatever scale you prefer. So let's zoom out, and now we can flip over the page. So here we start with a small glossary so that you understand all these shortenings for various words. Of course, we start with preface, which will give you some background on the history of this type, why it was developed, where it was used, and how it ended up, because this aircraft has, I would say, not that cool story behind it. I mean, it could have been used a bit more efficiently. But here, next, we continue with first chapter. As you can see, we get to see a bit more detailed look on various parts of the aircraft. Moreover, it's not only the drawings, it's also photos of the Rio aircraft, and that's even more valuable because it might give you some ideas on how to detail your model, what features to add with some scratch building. Here, by the way, you can see landing gear system. Next, we continue with some parts in the cockpit, wing mechanization, tail wings. Here we continue with fuel system, also various parts of the engines. And this is a really handy stuff, especially for these modelers who would like to add more features into their kit. And it doesn't matter which scale you prefer, still there will be something to add, and I have no doubt that you'll find something to copy in your build. So that's why I value such chapter in this book, and I always say it when we are reviewing the Airframe albums from Valiant Wings, because there are a few books which actually provide such information in one, let's say, source. You don't have to resort to several books, you just open one, you check whatever you need, or you can move page by page, because basically you will be building aircraft in the same sequence and you will be good to go. Next, we continue with another chapter, that's already the second one, which is named as Evolution. So as you remember, here we will get to see various versions of this famous aircraft, and the publisher or author actually shows the main differences with help of these pictures. As you can see, there are detailed explanations for each thing which was different on this or that version. This is also quite a useful thing because it will give you a clear understanding what should be copied for this or that version of this aircraft. And in case you would like to replicate some special variant of this German aircraft, this will be important because it will supply you with the necessary tips on how to replicate all the main features of this or that version. Next, we continue with marking section. So here we have some side profiles. Obviously, these are not full-fledged galleries of the marking options, but they should give you some ideas on what paint scheme to use on your aircraft. As you can see, there are also some detailed look on the stencils. Of course, we also have stenciling guide, which is given in 1/72 scale, but it's not a problem to scale it up with some scanner and print, and we all know this. Next, we continue with the model section. That's already fourth, and as you can see here, we have build of the Dragon 1/72 scale kit. It was assembled by Libor Jekyll, and that's quite interesting build. As you can see, a lot of modifications were applied by modelers, so that's really cool. I can see even some resin parts being used. And of course, we also have Tamiya kit in 1/48 scale. Some modelers might prefer this aircraft in bigger size, so that's why we have another build in this scale. And that's not all, because we also have 1/32 scale. As you can see, there is also a book dedicated to this aircraft, but that's already a grand project, and as you can see, it is quite short, so if you would like to learn more, you will have to check some other sources. Here we continue with the appendix, which shows you all the kits in whatever scales. By the way, some of them were reviewed in our YouTube channel, so if you would like to find more information about, for example, this Mark IV kit, you can find it easily on our YouTube channel. I think we also reviewed Zolkimura, and I'm not sure if we actually reviewed the Revel kit and also Tamiya, but you can try to type it in. Of course, there are also various accessories, be it PE parts or resin parts. Of course, as you can see, we also have some metal legs. And another thing is decal sets, which will be handy for some alternative marking options if you would like to replicate them on your aircraft. Again, everything is features handy separation into several scales. And by the way, again, publisher is a bit wrong on the page count. As you can see, there are 146 pages, not 144 pages as it was promised, and that's actually a good thing. And here in the end you can see the price tag, so 20 British pounds, 19.95, and of course you should also plus or add here the shipping costs, but it won't be that expensive, and they also have various promos which actually make the book even more attractive to order. And in my opinion, this is a quite important addition to a library of any fan of German aircraft modeler. And of course, all these photos will be handy for your build. I can see that we also have some detailed information that there are 40 pages of technical information, 20 pages of walk-around images and technical diagrams, 10 pages of camouflage and markings, and 25 pages dedicated to model builds. And in total there should be more than 150 photos. So it sounds like an impressive update over the first issue, and it should be already available, so you can get it on official publisher website. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye!